Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So today I'm taking you guys back to Spain. I'm going to show you 3 really simple tapas recipes, and then I'm going to show you 2 cocktail recipes that go with those tapas. All of these recipes can be put together minutes before your guests arrive. Now it's time to show you guys how to make the ultimate tapas spread, and we're doing it right now. So if you've ever gone out for Spanish tapas, I know you've tried tomato bread. This Spanish tomato bread is reminiscent of a bruschetta, except the tomatoes aren't cut up into cubes. The tomatoes are going to be grated. I love that because the tomato doesn't fall off. I'm going to get that bread nice and toasty using my Breville Smart Grill. Let's start with our bread. I'm using a standard ciabatta here. I like ciabatta bread because it's nice and floury, and I kind of love that. It also gets a really good crunch to it. It's really rustic. And you really want that because the tomatoes tend to make the breads a little bit soggy, so you want it to stand up to those tomatoes. And this is where the tomato is going to go. And then I'm going to cut it into smaller portions. I'm going to get this bread crisping up on my grill. So I'm going to need to paint it with some extra virgin olive oil. Really good olive oil is crucial here. The olive oil even helps get a nice, even golden color. Okay, I'm just gonna put these on the grill to get nice and toasted, and then we're gonna get started on the tomatoes. First, you wanna cut off the top of the tomato, and then cut it in half so that the flesh is exposed. And now we're gonna get grating. Get the last bits of the tomato flesh, and that's what's left. I just wanna make sure I get it all. Let me just check on the bread. You want a nice, even golden color on the face of the bread, and then you also want the edges of the bread to get nice and charred, but not too charred. In the meantime, I'm gonna add some stuff to my tomatoes. So first thing is garlic. 1 clove of garlic, and I'm gonna grate it. Of course, we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil, some salt, and even some pepper. Another ingredient you can add to your tomatoes is a nice sherry vinegar. I don't have any today, but that also adds a great dimension of flavor to this tomato. So good. Perfect. Okay, so my bread is done. I've got a really nice golden char on there. And I'm gonna put it right on my serving platter. Now let's put on our tomatoes. And of course, finish it off with a little drizzle of some extra virgin olive oil. Okay guys, the tomato bread's done. Now let's go work on those shishito peppers. Next, I'm doing another one of my favorite tapas. These are shishito peppers, not spicy. Absolutely love these, and they're so addicting and incredibly easy to make. So we're gonna start off by poking a little hole using a skewer into the shishito pepper, just to avoid bursting while they're on the grill. Okay, so in this bowl I have standard extra virgin olive oil, but I'm gonna add a little bit of sesame oil too. I don't wanna do all sesame oil because I just find it really, really strong. I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of sesame oil into my olive oil. The sesame oil adds an amazing flavor to these peppers. You wanna make sure you get both sides, so just flip them all over and brush the other side. And then we're also gonna add some coarse salt before we put them on the grill. Grill nice and hot and start adding your peppers. Keep grilling them and turning them until they're blistered and charred in places. This is exactly what I mean about blistered and charred. So we want that around the whole pepper. So you want to do about 2 to 4 minutes per side, depending on how hot your grill is. These are just about done. I'm gonna finish them with some coarse sea salt and serve them with a nice slice of lemon. These are ready to go. And look how quick that was. I told you guys these would be super easy. Last dish I wanted to prepare because it's super easy is a Spanish cheese board. I have a video on my channel all about a Spanish cheese board, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but this is always a great idea when you're serving Spanish cocktails and tapas. Really easy to prepare. I bought some Spanish olives, so I'm just gonna put them in a little bowl and put them onto a board. I have some homemade chorizo, and then some Spanish cheese. I'm gonna cut it up for my guests, just to make it really easy for them. Ready to go too. So the first thing I'm making is a white peach sangria. I'm gonna start off with a simple fruity white wine with a splash of brandy and some Spanish cava. Cava is really great because it's dry and it's also not too sweet. And of course the best part, it's got all these great tiny bubbles that are just so refreshing. My peaches. Of course I have it in a large pitcher with a spout. So the fruit is actually not going to come out. But what I like to do is when I'm serving this, to have a ladle nearby so that if your guests want to open the lid and get a few pieces of fruit to put into their wine glass, they can go ahead and do that. Also like to add some mint leaves. And a little bit of orange juice works really well with the sangria as well. Give that a stir. Personally, I think my guests are gonna like this a little lighter, so I'm gonna add some clear soda. The soda will add some sweetness too. Another great option is to add some frozen fruit to the sangria. It just allows the drink to get really, really cold without watering it down. Okay, this next cocktail I call a sherry splash. I'm gonna add 1 ounce of Spanish sherry, ounce of gin, half an ounce of a melon liqueur. Now we're just gonna shake it up, make sure the lid's on there tight. A wedge of lemon. There you go. Cheers. That's really, really good. Okay, my guests are here and everything's ready to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like these recipes and I hope you throw your very own tapas party really, really soon. Details about my servingware and the appliances I used, I'll put in the comments below. All of my recipes you can find on dailytiramisu.com. Happy entertaining and I'll see you guys again soon.